ultimate rags to riches story. The self-made billionaire who once lived in his car, now inspiring countless Americans to live the American dream. But does that ideal still exist? And is fellow billionaire Donald Trump the right man to make that dream come true? Well, we're asking Paul DeJoria, the co-founder of Paul Mitchell and Patron Spirits. Paul, thank you so much for joining us. Let's start with Donald Trump.
Happy Christmas out there, by the way. Happy Christmas out there, and love you out there. Happy Christmas.
Thank you, and same to you, Paul. I appreciate that. Let me get back to Donald Trump. There are those that say that he's popular because he's successful, and people in America love winners.
True. That's true, and a lot of people think that he's going to change things because he's not a regular politician. There are some really good people out there running for office. There's some people out there that have a good business knowledge. But I think what we all have to remember is it's kind of early in the game. Let's watch and see, one, what's good for business, but more important, what's good for the United States. Because you could have one thing good for business and one thing not so good for the United States. Not that that's Donald Trump, but you know, you got to have the combination of the two to make something happen. I think it's kind of early right now to judge one candidate from the other.
Is the American dream alive and well in this country?
It definitely is alive and well, and people are feeling it. I know just during this holiday season, the more people I talk to, the more they say, yeah, there's a few things wrong, but things are getting better. And more people are able to realize that the American dream does work. I even work with some homeless people that now have jobs. They didn't have jobs before. They now have a place to live. People that have started little businesses where their little businesses are now growing bigger. So the dream is not only still alive with all the baloney we hear on the news, it's still Christmas time. I think Santa Claus is probably the best example of what's good for business right now. But the dream definitely is alive, and people are feeling it. They truly are. I feel that on the streets.
Yeah, well, that's a good, well, it kind of leads into my next question. What's your take on the economy right now, and how are your businesses doing? You've got the hair products, and you've got the Patron tequila, which is great, by the way, and I'm waiting for my bottle.
Oh, thank you. By the way, this is one of our Christmas bottles. I call it the pewter wrap because it's wrapped with pewter. And this sells for about $79 a bottle opposed to $55 a bottle. But you get 1/3 more, and it's just a beautiful encasing. We have sold out of it. Every one of our bottles has already been bought, which means that Americans want to treat themselves more and more and more. And people throughout the world do. So we see high-end luxury lines.
We'll go with the first one.
Well, it could be, but if it's Patron, it's in a good way. But also we know this in beauty salons. More and more beauty salons are becoming fuller and fuller and fuller. And people, instead of buying something for $3.80 or $8, are spending $10 and $15 for high-quality hair care products. And we see that happening. We've seen it happening for a few months, which I think is going to lead the way to a very happy, successful, for everybody, 2016. We have many people unemployed right now. Unfortunately, our existing administration didn't do as good as they should be doing. But I see more people going back to work in 2016. Based on all those that are getting more business today, it will create more jobs.
Well, with that said, I'm going to put you on the spot for 2016 GOP candidate, or maybe Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders. Who do you think is best for business in this country?
Oh, boy, that's a good question. I think if I said Bernie Sanders, it would stun everybody because he's a socialist. Just kidding. I'm kidding. No. I would say if you look at everybody out there right now, we've got some really good people running. But it's going to be a little bit too early because one part says this is good for business. The other part says, but is this good for the nation? So I think as things evolve, we'll see going into next year as the field kind of shrinks down, not only what people say, this is very important, not what people say, but how they're accountable for what they say. You know, during political years, people say everything, every promise in the world. Both parties do it, by the way, not one, but all parties do that.
Equal opportunity.
But what are they going to do to be... Yes, sir. That's right. It's politics. But what will they do? What will they say to make sure they're accountable for what they're going to do, not just some good hype?
Yeah.
Let's watch for that one in early 2016.
Paul, we're out of time.
Yeah, really. Good luck for all of us in the nation.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much
for
joining us.
Peace, love, and happiness.
Exactly. Gotta love him. We'll be right back.